All right, chat. I'm gonna start off real quick. This will be a very quick tier list that I do want to do. But yeah, I'm gonna speed run it, quote unquote, but then also explain why I put them in certain places. I want to first of all start by saying that I don't think anyone is in D tier. I think every single killer that is currently in 2v8 has something really good about them to make them viable. So D tier is obviously the whole terrible, barely even worth playing. But I think every single character is worth playing. Including Trapper, who I think is probably the worst character out of all of them. I think Trapper's great. I think Trapper's really, really good in certain situations, but there's a lot that's really rough about him. His map pressure is decent, and he's very good at assisting people or the other killer, but it's the setup, man. It's the fact that you take a little bit to set up, especially on a huge map. Like, the map is so huge that a lot of the time you will just have to trap a certain area, and they can just easily do the gens because the gens are so quickly done as sometimes that it's just not great. It's not great for Trapper. By the time he actually starts getting value out of his traps, it's around the end game, which can be very, very rough. The good news is that they did add the thing where if they do gens and you've not really got many hooks, the gens are actually slower, which is nice because you are not going to get as many hooks if you play Trapper. I think Trapper should get default Eerie Stone. I wouldn't even mind that. Maybe even if it's 45 seconds, every 45 seconds the trap opens, that'd be good. I think also Trapper's actually worse with the new maps have been added. I'm trying to remember I know 2 of the maps. I'm pretty sure 3 maps have been added, and I know it's Ormond and RPD. And Ormond is okay. Ormond's alright when it comes to Trapper. It's also right. But RPD kind of good survivors will just be able to just disarm the traps because they can easily see them, and just remember that it's a very big RPD. So it's just, I don't know, I think Trapper's very, very, at the end of the day, it's Trapper's weak anyway, but yeah, they made him quite weak in this mode as well. Okay, last time I put Wraith in C tier. I do still think Wraith he's okay. I don't think he's insane. I kind of want to put him really low B tier because last time I put him really high C tier. I do think he's a little bit better. When I first started playing Wraith last time, I said Wraith was A tier. Wraith was really good. His uncloaking, being able to uncloak that fast is wild, dude. It was so wild. But then I was at the end of the day, if you go against a really good Wraith, you're not going to get nearly as destroyed as going against a good Nurse or a good Huntress. That's just I think Wraith is only seen as very good because he's very easy. And any player can really get a grip of Wraith. But I do actually think Wraith is, he's good. He's got a decent mobility with his cloak. He's got a decent chase power, being able to lunge very, very nicely with Wraith. And the only thing that I think Wraith is really lacking from is teamwork. There's certain situations where, sure, if a Wesker dashes and hits someone, you can hit them once they get injured, which is great. But Wraith doesn't have that much synergy compared to other killers. So I probably will just put him at bottom B tier because I do think he's great in certain situations when he's alone. But at the end of the day, there are certain situations at the same time where being together is also really, really good. And Wraith just struggles a little bit more. But I think he's good. I think he's a very, very valid pick. Wraith and Legion's not too bad. I think Legion's pretty good with most killers though, I will admit. I feel the only killer that Legion might not pair the most the bestest with is Hillbilly, because Hillbilly can insta down. Speaking of Hillbilly, I'm putting Hillbilly in S tier. I think ever since they gave him his insta down back, he's been so disgusting. If you're good at Billy, being able to get those downs so quickly is so disgusting. Like, it's genuinely so disgusting. And I think one of the things about 2v8 is characters like Legion and Spirit that I will get into. But I don't think they're the best just because, like, yes, you can injure lots of people, but the amount of healing you can do, especially with the medic role or the medic little active ability you can do, they're decent. You know, like Legion and Spirit, but I think that really makes them suffer. But with Billy, you don't have to worry about that, because if they heal, you insta-down them, you know. And you're going to be using your chainsaw most of the time. Like, you're rarely going to be using your M1 unless it's like a combo thing, where like the other killer hits them and the survivor runs into you. You're not going to chainsaw them because they're already injured. You might as well just M1 them. But yeah, I think Billy is really good. And some of the pairings like Slinger and I guess even Wesker, where Wesker can throw them and not even injure them, and Billy can just chainsaw them. It's disgusting, dude. It's so disgusting. I'm trying to remember where I put Nurse last time. I think Nurse was either like high B tier or low A tier. I'm actually gonna put Nurse. See, my thought process, my last tier list was that Nurse is just Nurse. Like, she's obviously incredible, but she doesn't have much, you know, she's not really good at pairing with the team. Like, Nurse really just usually does her own thing. But you can't argue with the fact that it's Nurse. Nurse has always been strong. Nurse is absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm putting Nurse in A tier. Nurse is very, very good. I don't think she's as good as Billy. You know, I think if you're a really good Nurse, then it could be S. But, like, I think for the most part, like, Nurse is just not good as Billy, because Billy has not only insane potential by himself, but insane potential with his partner. Nurse has insane potential with, you know, herself, and Nurse has decent potential with their duo, but you don't really need your duo. A lot of the case, like, the main time you will need your duo is like in instances where there's like only a few players left, to the point where you might as well just get the easy downs instead of the whole map wide pressure. But either way, like, once you do that, you probably won the game anyways. So yeah, I think Nurse could be S tier, but I don't think she's quite there. All right, next up. Huntress I put in S tier last time, and I mean, she's gonna stay in S tier, okay, guys? She's gonna stay in S tier. Huntress is really good. Huntress is like really, really good. Like, the fact that she is really good by herself, but I think she is one of the, if not the best support character when it comes to helping with their duo. I think one of the good things about Huntress is you can hit someone with your hatchet and the person that's chasing them doesn't suffer from like a cooldown or anything. So getting that next hit, which should be extremely easy, or if, you know, the teammate hits the survivor, Huntress can very easily hit them from far away if they're running away from a loop or whatever, if they're out in the open. Yeah, I don't really feel like I need to say much. I think I'm going to put Huntress above Hillbilly as well. I think Huntress is just so good. Like, I think Huntress is probably one of the more boring killers to go against as well, in my opinion, because she's just crazy. And she has 10 hatchets. I'm pretty sure Wind Up is better as well. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with her at all. Like, the only thing that I suppose is wrong is the fact that she has no traversal, but despite not having traversal, she has insane map pressure, so really good. I guess, like, RPD maybe holds her back a little bit because it's not an outdoor map that you can do cross maps or whatever with, but still really good, still really, really good. All right, next one. This one's actually gonna be really interesting because Spirit, I swear, I think I put Spirit in C tier last time. Now, I'll tell you why I put Spirit in B tier last time, or C tier. And it's mainly because of, well, two things. Number one, the amount of sounds there are for 2v8. You know, you hear the other killer injuring people. You know, you hear the traps go off, you hear whatever. It can be very distracting. But that's not the main thing. The main thing was that Spirit was bugged during the time, so Spirit's audio was a little bit broken, where she could hear a husk, and that was really annoying. Even for really, really good Spirit players, like she was a bit too difficult because I think her traversal is not great, her map pressure is not great, but the thing she excels at is her chases, being able to end chases very quickly when she's by herself is very, very good. I think with the addition to Legion, being able to injure lots of people, I think she's a little bit better. So I'm actually going to put her above Wraith, but not too much above Wraith. I think she is good. But compared to other killers, like the ones that are going to be up top, I just don't think she's as good as them. But just because like she lacks in a lot, she's got really, really, at least with like Nurse, like she has insane chase potential, but she's also decent at teammate interactions. She's okay at decent teammate interactions, but she also has a decent bit of map pressure. Spirit doesn't really have much. The really long phasing is actually very nice, very nice. But other than that, she's just not. She's okay. She's okay. Hi, Tubi. Yes, hello, YouTube. Okay, next up is Deathslinger. Deathslinger up in A tier last time. I'm not gonna lie. I guess with the addition of Wesker, not too bad. I think Wesker and Deathslinger combo is very, very nice. But I don't really have much to say about Deathslinger. I mean, he's good. He's very good, especially with teammate interactions. But he's not really been changed like at all from the previous 2v8. So yeah, not really got much to say on him. Blight. Where did I put Blight last time? Was it A tier? Was it A tier I put Blight? Yeah. I think I'm gonna put Blight. Do I put Blight above or below Nurse? I don't know actually. Because again, in terms of chases, Nurse is 10 times better, right? But she doesn't have much like else, and Blight has decent map traversal, incredible map pressure. I think his potential with team ups is a lot better. I don't know, chat. I think I'm gonna put Blight maybe a little bit below. I feel like I've had more interactions where I've been destroyed by a Blight. Destroyed by a Nurse as opposed to destroyed by a Blight. I think honestly that's the thing that's swaying me, is my interactions with Nurses and Blights. I feel like just Nurses destroy a whole lot more. But no, if you're really good with Blight, is obviously incredible. I think also Nurse is easier than Blight, so that could honestly be a reason as to why I get destroyed by Nurses more. But I think this is safer now. I think this is really, really safer now. Okay, chat. The final bit of the tier list. The new killers. Should we just start with Legion? Well, we'll start with Legion and leave the Resident Evil characters to last. The amount of people that I've seen say Legion is like S tier or even A tier. I mean, maybe Legion is A tier. Okay. Let me go through the positives and the negatives about Legion. The positives, people mend. People don't 99 their mend ever. So it's not like you have to go around hitting every single 8 of the survivors. You can literally hit 4 of them and then someone will mend, hit them. And the speed keeps going on and on and on until obviously you hit your 9th hit, which is actually disgusting. You can get insane speed, especially when you get the shrubs as well, or the herbs, and that give you an extra 10%. It is disgusting. And if the other killer has the, what's it called, the Fearmonger stat, where you go faster as well if they hit someone, that's disgusting. The negatives. Number 1, Legion is not very good at securing downs. Legion has to very much rely on the other killer to get most of the downs. I'm not saying every single down has to be the other killer, But you are going to find that when you play Legion, the other killer is going to be securing the downs a little bit more, which is great because the killer will have a lot of an easier time getting the downs, especially when everyone is injured. But the really big negative that I've grown to actually see is I will hit like 7 people with my frenzy. I'll hit 7 individual people with my frenzy, be like, oh my god, dude, that's so much pressure. And then in like 20 seconds, they're all healed. The amount of healing you can do is wild. The amount of healing you can do, especially if you have medic. The medic is very, very crazy. You know, if every single person is grouped up that's injured, like 7 people, and you just use 1 medic ability, that is what, 7 times 50. 7 times 50 is 350% healing progress in literally 1 button is disgusting. You know, and obviously the medic gives you a healing bonus. I think Legion is okay. He's not bad. I think if you pair Legion with like a really good Blight, or really good Nurse, or really good Huntress, or really good Wesker, or a really good high-end killer, then yeah, it's going to be really good. But if you're playing like Legion and Wraith, good luck. I think Legion is okay at best. I think he's okay. I think obviously the snowball is there. But I think the fact that everyone can heal so quickly is a little bit problematic, and it will only allow the other killer to get like 1 or 2 downs from injures that you have put on. So he's all right, but I don't think he's insanely strong, but he's fun. That's the number one thing, Chad, is that he's really fun. Speaking of fun, I think Nemesis is very fun. I think Nemesis is a great character in general. There's just one slight issue, and I think that Nemesis is kind of bad. Like maybe higher than Wraith, maybe lower than Wraith. I'll put him higher than Wraith because I feel like Nemesis like is good. I think Nemesis is a good character, but let me explain. First of all, let me explain the positives about Nemesis in 2v8. First of all, getting your tier 3 could not be easier. Not only do you have 8 survivors that you can infect and get your mutation rate really high, but killing your zombies with your tentacle gives you 175% more, which is nice. I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to kill zombies. Like if there's one on like the corner of the map, I wouldn't recommend going to kill them. But if you're walking to like Shack and there's a zombie nearby, then you're more than welcome to kill them. I think it's great. That's his decent positive. And if you get people infected, great, because your chase power will be a lot better. But we come to the negatives. First of all, let's actually talk about zombies first of all. I think his zombies are something that very much needs to be addressed. It's 2 zombies still on a map that's like double the size with double the survivors that they have to try and put pressure on. Best case scenario, you're going to pressure like 2 or 3 survivors at once, but that is like the best case scenario. If everyone is somewhat split up, if not every single person is on 1 gen, the zombies might interrupt 1 or 2 survivors, but it really isn't that great. Think about how many gens there are. When there's 1 gen that's needing to be complete, there's 5 gens in total, as opposed to 3. If there was 3 and there's two of the zombies are on 2 different gens, that's only 1 gen that's not being defended by a zombie, whereas now it's 3 gens that are not being defended by a zombie. And obviously if survivors are good, they can split up, do all the shebang. So the zombies I think are really really bad. I found out that whenever I play Nemesis, I get like an average of like maybe 1 zombie hit. every single game. And listen, I know zombies are not super made to hit survivors. I know they're not. I know zombies are made to pressure people off gens or to pressure people on hooks or whatever. But again, with the amount of survivors, with how big the maps are, yeah, they're not good. They're really not good. And I think, yeah, it's just not great. The good news is that with Nemi zombies, you get a decent bit of information. That's actually very nice, especially if you're like playing Wesker with Nemesis and you see a zombie. Because bear in mind, the killer duo can also see the zombies. So they both get value out of it. I think that's actually very good about Nemesis, and that's probably why I would put Nemesis higher than Wraith. But other than that, again, they don't really pressure that many people. I don't think the Nemesis zombies are great. The Nemesis tentacle is not bad. It's not bad. But understand that you have to injure or you have to hit them with your tentacle 3 times. And you could be like, oh yeah, but like, you know, you hit them an amount of times. Sometimes they won't vaccinate because sometimes the vaccination boxes are, you know, very limited. But, you know, I feel like a lot of the time when you're chasing people, you're going to be chasing someone that's not been infected yet. Worst case, you know, best case scenario, you're chasing someone that is still needing to be cleansed or needing to be vaccinated. But it's all right. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think one of the annoying things is like Nemesis is not very good against body blocks either. Obviously, if it's an open area, he can go to the side and hit the person in front. But he's still not great, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm gonna actually, we just got into a game as well, so I'm gonna quickly move on to Wesker. But yeah, Nemesis is one of the worst killers, but I don't think he's as bad as both Wraith and Trapper. But I'm gonna quickly, very quickly, say that Wesker is probably top of A tier. I think Wesker is limited by just, you know, some loops. I think, you know, some loops that Wesker's dash is a little bit difficult to get the hang of. But you go against a good Wesker. It's kind of like Blight, but a little bit better because of the 3 dashes. I think Wesker's really good. Having that side objective of having everyone to cleanse as well is really good. And another thing, he's fun. He's very fun. I think all these killers are fun to some degree. But no, I do think Wesker is really good. The only time Wesker's not the best, or I say Nemesis is not the best either, is when you pair Wesker with Nemesis, where it's a lot easier to cleanse both the stat effects. So a little bit rough, but no, I think Wesker's incredible. I think Wesker's amazing.